Welcome to Invest Ed.
So yung company na i-analyze natin at re-reviewin natin ay ang company BEL Corporations. Sa pagre-review at pag-analyze ng stocks, magkakaroon tayo ng kaalaman kung ano yung kanilang strength and weaknesses. Sa pagre-review at pag-analyze ng stocks, malalaman natin kung ano yung fair value ng company and ano yung margin of safety ng company. Kasi napaka-importante na alam mo kung kailan ka papasok. Sabi nga ni Warren Buffett, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Most importantly, dapat naiintindihan mo yung company bago ka mag-invest ng pera mong pinaghirapan. Okay guys, so lahat lang yan pagsasama-sama natin sa isang video para makabuo tayo ng matibay na konklusyon at matibay na pundasyon sa pag-i-invest natin sa stock market. So kung ready na kayo, samahan nyo ako, let's start and see you on the other side. Hello guys, welcome sa channel natin. Kung bago ka pa lang sa channel natin, huwag mong kakalimutan na i-subscribe and pindutin ang bell button para ma-notify ka sa mga bagong videos na lalabas sa channel natin. No? So dito, binabahagi ko yung 7 years of experience ko sa pag-trade at pag-invest ko sa stock market. And ang kagandahan pa dito, it's completely free. Maraming salamat!
BEL Corporation, through its subsidiaries, develops and sells real estate properties to high-income individuals and corporations in the Philippines and internationally. The company offers gaming and other leisure and resort activities, as well as sells residential lots and condominium units. It is also involved in property management activities. The company was formerly known as BEL Resources and changed its name to BEL Corporation in 1994. BEL Corporation was founded in 1973 and is headquartered in Pasay, the Philippines.
Welcome sa market performance ni BEL. Nakikita natin dito, in 7 days return, nag-return siya ng 7.20%, while the industries na kanabibilangan niya ay nasa 9.40%, and the market ay nasa 6%. And comparing to the 1-year return of a company, down siya by 26%, while the industries na kinabibilangan niya ay nasa 23.60%. The company underperformed the Philippine industry, which returned a 23.60%, while the market nakikita natin dito na mayroong return na negative 19.50%. The company also underperformed the Philippine market, which returned a 19.50%. And nakikita din natin dito yung kanyang 3 years return and 5 years return. So nakikita natin dito, in 5 years return, down siya by 58.70%, while the industries na kanabibilangan niya ay nasa 7.20% up, and the market ay nasa 6.6% down. Okay, and this is the price volatility versus market. Nakikita natin dito how volatile is company share price compared to the market and industry in the last 5 years. So nakikita natin dito, the company ay mayroong beta na 0.59 beta, while the industries na kanabibilangan niya mayroong 0.71 beta, and ang average market volatility ay nasa 1. Okay? So nakikita natin dito na less volatile ang company compared sa kanyang industries and sa market. Okay, and this is the analyst future growth forecast ng company. Nakikita natin dito 68.1% yung forecasted annual earnings growth ng company. Okay, so in the next 1 to 3 years, based sa estimate ng mga analyst, and nakikita natin dito yung forecasted growth ng industries ay nasa 30.1%, while the Philippine market ay nasa 29.3%. So, the company are forecast to grow faster than the Philippine market. Nakikita kasi natin dito na meron lang siyang 29.3%, while the company ay nasa 68.1%. And also to their industries. And in terms of earnings versus savings rate, nakikita natin dito, the company forecast earnings growth is above the savings rate of the Philippine na mayroong 5.1%, while the earning forecast growth of a company ay nasa 68.1%. Okay? 68.1% per year. Okay, and this the free cash flow ng company for the past 5 years. Nakikita natin dito na meron siyang in 2015, meron siyang 803.93 million free cash flow, and fast forward to 2019, meron na siyang 4.7 billion free cash flow. Now, ano nga ba tong free cash flow at ano yung kahalagahan as an investor ng free cash flow sa atin? Okay, una, explain muna natin kung ano yung free cash flow. So, yung free cash flow it represent cash available for the company to repay the creditors or to buy back their shares or also to pay dividend to their investors, no? Now, ano bang ibig sabihin ng positive or negative free cash flow? So, ang ibig sabihin ng positive free cash flow, mas malaki yung kanilang cash from operations kaysa sa kanilang capital expenditures. Pag sinabi naman nating negative free cash flow, mas malaki yung kanilang capital expenditures kaysa sa kanilang cash from operating activities. Okay, so para sa mas madaling salita, no, for example, 100% owner ka ng company and anong ibig sabihin sa'yo ng free cash flow as a 100% owner? So, ibig sabihin, yung free cash flow ng company, ito na yung para sa'yo, ito na yung matatabi mo, ito na yung pwede mong ipang save, invest, ipang travel, or anything you want to do sa free cash flows. Anything you want to do sa pera mo. Okay, so yun ibig sabihin nun. Now, ano yung ibig sabihin nito as a shareholders ng company? Bakit natin tinitignan yung free cash flow at bakit napaka-importante ng free cash flow sa akin or sa inyo? Kasi ang gusto nating makita, no, sa mga company na ina-analyze natin, yung free cash flow ng company over the years nag-grow. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Ang ibig sabihin nun, there's a pile of cash meron ang company to improve their businesses. Okay? Ang ayaw naman nating makita kapag nag-a-analyze tayo ng mga stocks, na mga ina-analyze nating stocks, yung free cash flow ng company ay puro negative or declining. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Whether there's something na nangyayari sa company or di maayos yung management sa pagpapatakbo ng kanilang businesses. So, anong effect nito as an investor? So, yung effect nito, kunyari, yung pinag-investan mo, puro negative yung free cash flow, tapos nagbibigay sila ng dividendo. So, saan sila kumukuha ng dividendo? Chances are, mangungutang sila para makapagbigay ng dividendo sa stores, which is negative sa atin yan. Ayaw nating makita yan. So, nakikita natin dito yung free cash flow ng company for the past 5 years ay growing, no? So, from 803.93 million pesos to 4.7 billion pesos na yung kanilang free cash flow in 2019. Kasi maganda tignan yan at gustong-gusto natin yung ganyan, no, is nag-grow yung kanilang free cash flow. Okay, and this is the free cash flow naman ng company in a quarterly data. So nakikita natin dito, in a second half of 2020, meron silang 395.5 million pesos free cash flow compared to the first quarter of 2020 na mayroong 829.2 million free cash flow. Nakikita natin na nag-drop yung kanilang free cash flow, no? Now, in comparing to the second quarter of 2019, no, wala tayong mahanap na data. Okay, sa sources natin, wala tayong mahanap. So just leave it behind, no? Okay, so, but still, no, nakikita natin na nag-drop yung kanilang free cash flow. Okay, this is the earnings per share versus free cash flow per share ng company. So, anong bang gusto natin makita dito ano ba yung agenda natin dito sa earnings per share versus free cash flow per share, no? So, gusto natin makita, no, mas malaki yung free cash flow per share kaysa sa earnings per share. Nangangahulugan yun, there's a file of cash meron ng company. So kapag merong file of cash meron ang company, there's a chances na pwede pa mag-improve ang company. Ang ayaw naman nating makita kapag nagre-review tayo, mas malaki yung earnings per share or sobrang laki ng difference ng earnings per share versus free cash flow per share or negative itong free cash flow per share. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Nangangahulugan yun na there's something na nangyayari sa loob ng company or binuboost yung fundamentals na company to gain investors, which is ayun yung ayaw nating nakita, no? Okay, now in terms of free cash flow yield ng company, nakikita natin dito, meron silang 32% free cash flow yield. It is a solid free cash flow yield, no? Kasi ang gusto natin makita ay 10% pataas, which is nakikita natin dito, meron siyang 32% free cash flow yield. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Ano bang sinasabi ng free cash flow yield sa atin? Ang sinasabi ng free cash flow yield, it is a solid business and it is considered a undervalue in terms of free cash flow yield alone. Okay guys? Ulitin ko. In terms of free cash flow yield alone, undervalue siya. Okay, and this is the net profit margin ng company. Nakikita natin dito, 36.4% yung kanilang net profit margin. And now, nandito tayo sa moat analysis natin sa kanya, no? So, moat analysis natin ay popularized by Warren Buffett. So, it refers to a business ability to maintain its competitive advantage to its competitors in order to protect its long-term profit from competing firm, no? So, gusto natin makita dito over the years ay nag-grow yung kanilang earnings per share, book value per share, net income per share, cash from operating activities ay nasa 10% pataas, no? So nakikita natin dito talagang ang ganda ng kanyang earnings per share, book value per share, net income, cash from operating activities. Yung apat na categories niya, nakikita natin na maganda yung kanilang growth rate, no? Kasi in terms of moat analysis natin sa kanya, yung ratings ko sa kanya ay 10, no? So, 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest in terms of moat analysis, no? So, guys, bago ko pala makalimutan, no, may Excel sheet akong binibigay, no? Kung wala pa kayong Excel sheet na pwede nyo magamit sa pag-trade, pag-invest nyo. So, comment down below your email address para mabigay ko sa inyo to ng libre, no? Okay? Ngayon, nalaman na natin, no, kung ano meron sa moat ng company. Dumako naman tayo sa ROIC or Management Analysis na company. So dito mini-measures natin dito yung ROIC and ROE na company. So unahin muna natin tong ROIC. Ano ba tong ROIC? So companies that have high ROIC are one that efficiently use the capital that they have raised in order to grow the business. So we look at ROIC over time na nasa 10% pataas yung kanilang ROIC. It is considered a good ROIC. No? So nakikita natin dito from 2015 meron silang 6%, while in 2019 fast forward to 2019 meron silang 9%. No? Nakikita natin dito from 2016 to 2018 na meron silang 11% ROIC. It is considered a good ROIC. And in 2019 meron silang 9% ROIC. It is considered a okay ROIC. Okay? And now, let's compare the ROIC to ROE ng company. Okay, yung ROE naman or return on equity of greater than 10% over time, so it demonstrates the effectiveness of management in increasing the value of shareholders' equity. So, be aware of companies na sobrang baba ng ROE, no, or return on equity, or negative yung kanilang return on equity, no? So, dito, titignan natin, no, kung gaano kagaling yung management to handle others people's money. So, yun lang ibig sabihin nun, no? And in 2015, meron silang 7%, while fast forward to 2019, nakikita natin na meron silang 9%, no? So, hindi sila nagkakalayo dun ng ROIC and ROE, no? So, in terms of management analysis natin sa kanya, so yung ratings natin in terms of management analysis ay nasa 9 ratings, no? It is considered excellent also, no, yung kanilang management. Okay, and this is the dividend yield versus market ng company. Nakikita natin dito, meron silang 8.11% dividend yield, while the industries na kinabibilangan niya ay merong 1.5% dividend yield, no? And compared to the market bottom na merong 25% na merong 1.6% dividend yield, and compared to the market top 25%, merong 4.8% dividend yield, no? So in terms of notable dividend, nasa green flag also tayo sa kanya because dividend is higher than the bottom 25% of dividend payers in the Philippine market. In terms of high dividend, nasa green flag also tayo sa kanya because dividend is in the top 25% dividend payers in the Philippine market, no? Okay, this is the stability growth payments na company. Nakikita natin dito from 2010 to 2020, no. Nakikita natin na dividend yield ay nasa 8.1%, while yung kanilang dividend per share ay nasa 0.12 dividend per share. Okay? Okay, so in terms of stable dividend, nasa red flag tayo sa kanya because dividend payments, yung company dividend payments for less than 10 years have been volatile. So nakikita natin, no, yan, nakikita natin na volatile talaga, nagkaroon ng volatility, sobrang volatile yung kanilang dividend payments. In terms of growing dividend, nasa red flag also tayo sa kanya because dividend of the company or the company dividend payments have increased but the company has only paid a dividend of 7 years lang, no? So hindi siya umaabot ng 10 years yung kanyang dividend. Kasi hindi pa umabot ng 10 years yung kanyang dividend. Okay, and this is the management na nakikita natin dito yung kanilang CEO na si Manuel Gana na nasa 62 years old na and tenure sa company na 3.58 years, no? And this is the informations about sa kanilang CEO, no? So kung gusto niyo basahin, guys, so post niyo na lang and basahin niyo na lang ako, no, kung anong meron sa kanya. Okay? Okay, and this is the leadership team ng company. Merong average tenure ang company na nasa 3.6 years average tenure and average age na nasa 58 years old. So in terms of experience management, nasa green flag tayo sa kanya also because management team is considered experience. In terms of board members, nasa green flag also tayo sa kanya because board of directors are considered experienced na merong average tenure sa company na mayroong 7.8 years average tenure and average age na nasa 67 years old. Okay, and this is the ownership breakdown ng company, no. Nakikita natin dito 27.7% owned by public companies, 37.7% owned by general public, 25.4% owned by private companies, 5.5% owned by institutions, 3.7% owned by individual insiders, no? So in terms of dilution of shares, nasa green flag tayo sa kanya also because shareholders have not been meaningfully diluted in the past year, no? So yung meaning nitong diluted shares o dilution shares, no, kapag nag-i-issue ng shares or nagre-raise ng shares yung company, bumababa yung ownership percentage ng mga shareholders ng company, no? So yun lamang yun. Okay, this is the top shareholders ng company. Nakikita natin dito, 26.68% owned by SM Investment Corporations. Okay, and this is the rest of top shareholders ng company. Okay, now dumako na tayo sa financial positions ng company, no? So nakikita natin dito, yung short-term assets na company ay nasa 11.53 billion pesos and yung short-term liabilities na company ay nasa 5.83 billion pesos. Ano nga ba tong short-term assets, no, para mas lalo nating maintindihan lahat? So yung meaning nitong short-term assets, ito yung assets na company na kaya niyang i-liquidate into cash within a year. And meaning naman itong short-term liabilities, ito naman yung obligations na company within a year. So nakikita natin dito, yung kanilang current ratio ay nasa 1.9 current ratio. It is considered a good current ratio, no. Kapag nakikita natin, no, yung current ratio ng company in terms of liquidity, no, kapag nasa 1 pataas na yung kanilang current ratio, it is considered a good current ratio. So wala silang liquidity problem in the next year, no. And also, no, ibig sabihin nitong current ratio, no, 1.9 times kaya niyang punan yung kanyang short-term liabilities, no? And dito naman tayo sa long-term assets na company, nakikita natin dito, 31.66 billion pesos yung kanyang long-term assets ngayon and yung kanyang long-term liabilities ay nasa 7.8 billion pesos long-term liabilities. Now, itong long-term assets, no, ito naman yung assets na company na kaya niyang i-liquidate into cash more than a year naman. And ito namang long-term liabilities, ito naman yung obligations na company more than a year also. So in terms of short-term liabilities, nasa green flag tayo sa kanya because short-term assets exceed its short-term liabilities. Nakikita natin, no? And in terms of long-term liabilities, short-term assets exceeds also its long-term liabilities na nasa 7.8 billion lang, while the short-term assets ay nasa 11.53 billion. This is the debt to equity history ng company. Nakikita natin dito na meron silang 24% debt to equity ratio ngayon, no? Okay, so ano nga bang ibig sabihin nitong debt to equity ratio para mas lalo dating maintindihan also, no? So meaning nitong debt to equity ratio, no? So in every 1 peso na ginagamit ng company sa kanyang operation, 24% ng 1 peso ay financed by utang. So nakikita natin dito na nasa 24% lang. So maganda tignan yan, no? Kasi ang gusto natin makita also, no, kapag nag-analyze tayo ng stocks o nagre-review, nasa 40% pa ba yung kanyang debt to equity ratio. So which in this case, nasa 24% yung kanyang debt to equity ratio ngayon as of September 30, 2020. So in terms of debt level ng company, nasa green flag tayo sa kanya because the company debt to equity ratio ay nasa 24%. It is considered satisfactory, no? So bakit natin nasabing satisfactory yung kanyang debt level? Kasi nga, yun nga, so tulad na sinabi natin kanina, gusto natin makita ay nasa 40% pababa lang yung kanyang debt to equity ratio, pero nakikita natin dito na nasa 24% lang ang kanyang debt to equity ratio, kaya natin nasabi na satisfactory yung kanyang debt level. In terms of reducing of debt, nasa green flag also tayo sa kanya because the company debt to equity ratio has reduced from 35.9% to 24% over the past 5 years, no? Maganda din also tignan yan, no? And in terms of debt level ng company or debt coverage, the company debt is not well covered by operating cash flow na mayroong 3.6% lang. Ito yung red flag na nakita natin. In terms of interest coverage naman, nasa green flag naman tayo sa kanya because the company interest payment on its debt are well covered by EBIT 4.4 times coverage, no? So yun naman yung nakita natin also. In addition, no, in terms of debt analysis, kinukuha din natin dito also yung debt to earnings ratio ng company, no? So natin makita sa debt to earnings ratio ng company ay nasa 3 years lang pababa yung kanyang debt to earnings ratio. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin nitong debt to earnings ratio, no? Kapag yung company na ina-analyze mo, debt to earnings ratio niya ay less than 3 years, it is considered stable because they do not have a large amount of interest expense or debt to service the company. No, so yun yung gusto natin makita. So ano nga bang ibig sabihin nitong debt to earnings ratio para mas lalo nating maintindihan? So ang meaning nito, gaano katagal mababayaran ng company yung kanyang long-term debt gamit lamang yung kanyang net income. So yun yung ibig sabihin nun. Natin makita, less than 3 years kaya niyang bayaran. Nakikita natin dito in 2015, meron siyang 3.07 years kaya niyang bayaran. And fast forward to nasa 1.72 years na lang, no? Nakikita natin na sa good side siya in terms of debt to earnings ratio, no? Okay, now in terms of debt ratings natin sa kanya, nasa 10 also tayo sa kanya. In terms of debt ratings natin sa kanya, ay nasa 10 tayo also sa kanya. So 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. So nasa highest rating tayo sa kanya in terms of debt analysis natin or in terms of debt to earnings ratio ng company. Okay, this is the key metrics na company, no? Yung ating mood ratings ay nasa 10, management ratings ay nasa 9, and debt ratings natin sa kanya also ay nasa 10, no? So overall, yung kanyang total score ay nasa 29, so dito siya papasok sa excellent company, no? So in terms of 3 categories, so nasa excellent siya. Dahil pumasa siya doon sa ating metrics, no? So pwede tayong magpatuloy sa kanyang valuations, no? Kasi may mga companies tayo na ina-analyze. Pagdating pa lang dito sa moat ratings management, no, hindi na sila pumapasa, so hindi na tayo magpapatuloy sa another steps of valuations natin. Okay, now this is the PE ratio ng company. Nakikita natin dito, meron siyang 28.4% PE ratio, while the industry ay merong 7.2 PE ratio, while the market ay meron 13.2 PE ratio. Nakikita natin dito na yung company, it is a poor value based on its PE ratio compared to the industries and market, no? And in terms of price to earnings growth ratio ng company, nasa 0.4, no? It is considered good value based on its PEG ratio or price to earnings growth ratio, no? So bakit na sinasabi na good value based yung kanyang price to earnings growth ratio, no? Kasi gusto natin makita kapag nag-analyze tayo ng PEG ratio ay 1 pababa lang yung kanyang PEG ratio. It is considered undervalue in terms of PEG ratio alone. And in terms of price to book ratio ng company, nakikita natin dito, meron siyang 0.5 price to book ratio, while the industries ay nasa 0.8 and market ay merong 1.1, no? So in terms of price to book ratio ng company compared to the industries, company price to book ratio, it is considered a good value base compared to the industries na kinabibilangan niya. Now, alam na natin kung anong meron sa company, alam na natin kung anong meron sa financial positions na company, and alam na natin kung ano yung future growth ng company. Dumako na tayo ngayon sa intrinsic value ngayon ng company. Okay guys, kung wala pa kang Excel sheet na katulad nito, so binibigay ko to ng libre guys. Just comment down below your email para mapasa ko tong Excel sheet, para magamit nyo rin sa pag-i-invest nyo sa stock market, Okay, ang hanapin natin ngayon ay yung forecasted net income ng company. Okay, this is the net income ng company forecasted in 2020. Nasa 2.1 billion pesos net income forecasted. Yung second natin hanap also, nasa 2.1 billion pesos also forecasted net income. So ito yung kukunin natin, nasa 2.1 billion pesos net income forecasted in 2020. Okay guys, welcome sa BPI trade, So nakikita natin dito yung kanyang price to earnings ratio over the past 5 years, So okay guys, kung wala kayong BPI trade, so pwede nyo naman gamitin yung MSN Money, para makuha yung average PE ratio ng company for the past 5 years. So tinuro ko na siya, sa nakaraang video natin, So now dito na tayo sa price to earnings ratio ng company. So i-average lang natin tong PE ratio ng company for the past 5 years. Okay, this is the average PE ratio na company for the past 5 years. Nasa 12.5 PE ratio yung kanyang average, Kasi ilalagay lang natin siya dito, 12.5. Okay na, yung susunod natin hahanapin yung current price ng company and yung current market cap, So para mahanap natin to, pupunta lang tayo sa reuters.com para makuha yung kanyang current price and current market cap. Okay guys, so this is the current price ng company. Nasa 1.43 pesos per share, and ito yung kanyang current market cap, 13.35 billion pesos market cap. So kukunin lang natin siya, at ilalagay sa ating Excel sheet. Okay, so this is the current intrinsic value ngayon ng company, na nasa 2.68 yung kanyang intrinsic value, and yung ating margin of safety sa kanya ay nasa 2.14 margin of safety, So meaning kapag nasa margin of safety or below margin of safety yung ating current price, it is considered a buy ratings alone in terms of intrinsic value alone. And yung kanyang current price ng time na ina-analyze natin to ay nasa 1.43 pesos per share yung kanyang current price. So it is considered a buy ratings alone in terms of intrinsic value. So mayroon tayong potential upside sa kanya na 87% potential upside kapag na-reach na yung ating 2.68 na price. Okay guys, sa mga nagtatanong, kung yung intrinsic value ba ay nagbabago? Yes, nagbabago yan, So, pwede nyo gawin, every 3 months, i-check nyo yung, kung may hawak kayong stocks, i-check nyo kung nagbabago ba o kung tumaas ba or bumaba ba yung intrinsic value ng company, Okay guys, so depende yan sa performance ng company. Okay guys, so in summary ng pag-aaral natin sa kanya, in terms of moat natin sa kanya, nasa excellent tayo sa kanya. In terms of management, nasa excellent also tayo sa kanya. In terms of debt, nasa excellent. And in terms of free cash flow niya, ay nasa 4.7 billion yung kanyang free cash flow in 2019. And in terms of earnings per share versus free cash flow per share, nasa green flag tayo sa kanya in terms of that, And also, in terms of risk analysis natin sa kanya, the dividend of the company ay merong 8.11% is not well covered by earnings. Yan yung isa nating nakita ng red flag sa kanya, And also, the company have a large one-off item impact financial result. So itong large one-off items na sinasabi natin, ito yung mas malaki kasi ngayon, as of September 30, yung kanyang data, mas malaki kasi yung kanyang operating expense kaysa sa kanyang earnings. So because of the pandemic na nangyayari ngayon, So yung mga gaming sectors na talagang apektado talaga ng pandemic ngayon, And in terms of profit margin, nasa 11.5% yung kanyang profit margin are lower than last year na mayroong 36.4% yung kanilang profit margin, So ito yung nakita nating risk analysis. And yung reward natin naman na nakita sa kanya, the company trading at 87% below our estimate of its fair value. And in terms of earnings, our forecast to grow 6% per year, no? Ito yung natin mga nakita, no? So, sa pagre-review at pag-analyze ng stocks, magkakaroon tayo ng idea at magkakaroon tayo ng matibay na konklusyon at matibay na pundasyon sa pag-i-invest natin sa stock market, no? And also, malalaman natin kung ano yung strength and weaknesses na company. Kasi napakahalaga na bago ka mag-invest ng pera mong pinaghirapan, you have to study your company na napipisil mong pagpasukan ng pera mo. And most importantly, no, dapat naiintindihan mo yung company. Kasi sabi nga ni Warren Buffett, no, you have to always stay to your circle of competence. So kung naiintindihan mo yung company, dapat bibili ka sa margin of safety ng company, no. So yung tinatawag nating sale, no. So guys, maraming salamat sa inyo sa mga nag-request nito, no. Maraming salamat sa inyo guys sa suporta, and as always, invest wisely and see you on the other side.